Hello, good afternoon. It's just after 12. I was out for a walk just on the road beside me here. I'm kind of near a town, but I can walk, and a lot of people go walking in this town because this is, generally speaking, a quiet road. There's the cars can be on it, but not frequent. So you're kind of in the country a bit. Uh, I can see the spire of the church from here at the Catholic Church. And so I had a walk. I had other things arranged for today, but it didn't transpire that they occurred. So I always use whatever occurs for some other purpose. So I had a walk. I had a walk, and it was as walking along. One thing that I going to comment on. Uh, I said the rosary was going along, and I was just at a place along to walk, but there's one of these pumps that people got water from years ago, but they used to, when there was no water in their homes, they used to be able to get it there, and it was often a very friendly place for people to meet and have a chat because neighbours were very close to one another them times. I once had these pumps, and I remember them, and there was water coming out of them. You'd often get a good drink of water out of them, and wells and so on and so forth. People used to have to go to wells for the water, down fields and that. Tough job. But anyways, I had to walk. So I stood at this place where the pump is, and in the field opposite and fields around, there was sheep, and they had lambs. And there was a sheep kind of chewing the grass. And there was 3 lambs, and there was 2 other sheep down there. But then suddenly this lamb that ran to this sheep that was grazing, and was obviously thirsty, and his tail was wagging as he was getting his nourishment from his mother. It was a lovely sight to see that lambs know their mother. And there was lambs sort of won't say resting, and so was their mothers resting. But this other sheep was up there, and I said, "I wonder has it got a lamb?" Because it did. He was there with his other friends, the other lambs, up like a shot and ran. And because and the tail going as it was taking it. So I was just marvelling at nature, what it does. And up in other fields there was some cattle grazing, and others chewing the cud, resting, shall we say. It was a peaceful, pleasant sight because the weather is dry, thank God. And as I looked at the sheep, and then there was other ones further down that were resting also with lambs. And I just was just saying to myself, they don't have to go to the supermarket for their food. Like the birds, they don't have to go. They are fed as well. You see crows in the fields, wherever nourishment they're getting. And then there's other birds, robins and blackbirds and all the rest of them. They're all a great humour. I did put a bit of stuff out for them. I have porridge in the morning. I put it out. I have robins here, and I have to put one this side and go around the corner and put other ones. And keep a sharp eye that no crows come around, because they're scavengers. They can get plenty of food. These other little fellas don't get much food, but now they get a bit now when the summer is coming and there's nourishment. So, but what I was noticing, as I said, was the pastoral scene, and the fact that these lambs know their mother, and they're brought into the world. They evolved, and cattle that have calves. Oh, there's great care taken over those, and if they're going to happen in the middle of the night, somebody has to be ready to go and do whatever. The farmer has to be ready to do what's needed. I know a little bit about farmers, and I admire what they do. to be honest about it. Sometimes they've too much cattle on it. The slurry now that they use. There used to be manure, but however, that's another story. We're talking about the good. And so that's what I noticed. And it's funny that farmers and those in that way make sure that every facility is given for the birth of a lamb or a calf. A pity the humans don't follow the example of the animals and the birds. You know, that type of way, especially with the killing of the innocent babies aborted, killed by doctors and nurses that should be saving lives. Repent. Anyways, I don't want to get into that subject. We're talking about the pastoral scene that I saw. We can all take a little lesson from nature. And I'm fortunate to be living, born in the city, shall we say, a few years ago, when there was neighbours. In a new the hoping. Looking for this, that, or the other, and you likewise, your family doing the same. We're all helping one another, you know that good. And gossiping, well, talking. I don't think it was gossiping, they were talking. They had that kind of a spiritual way going on. Just like President Joe Biden when he was here for a few days. God, he was smiling. And so was his daughter. Smiling. They were all smiling. Funny when you get somewhere and you're visiting where your ancestors come from, something comes into your heart, doesn't it? And he was down in Mayo in Knock. He was in the shrine there. He probably said a prayer, and he met the priest. He met the priest that was in the military hospital and gave the last rites to his son Bo, who died from cancer in this military hospital. He might have been in the army for all I know. Once he was in a military hospital, and so the priest gave him the last rites and probably heard his confession as well. So he's probably in heaven. So Joe kind of brought a tear to his eyes, and his sister as well, because like their family went there in 1850 when the famine was on here. They were lucky to get over, and even Joe said that when he was giving a speech in the Dáil, copping ships, because a lot of people died. So they had no food. They got no food. The British were in charge. See what they did. I think President Joe Biden referred to that somewhere along the line that the British didn't need to this Good Friday Agreement. They're a bit lax in that area because the North is not as there's no it's a lot better than it was. But there's still enmity between the two, and one of the worst ones, I think, in that neck of the woods is the DUP. They should respect people of other faiths, especially the Catholic faith, which is quite a nearly a majority in that neck of the woods now. And I think President Biden would know enough about history. Indeed he would. But it was a marvellous visit, and it gave everybody a bit of a lift. But I'm talking about the walk that I had. And funny enough, it does give you a lift. And I was able to say the rosary on the way and lingered, and also not just the rosary, but the Chaplet of Mercy for the sake of a sorrowful passion. And you do that on the rosary beads, and I have them out. I don't be trying to be hiding anything like that. Not that I'm trying to prove anything, but this is for to nourish my own soul. So I'll do it that way. This is one of the beauties of living in the country. Those living in the city, unless they visit the country from time to time or maybe from the country, but they don't have that beauty. They have buildings all around, and maybe they can go out to Howth or Dunleary or take a walk along the pier and get a bit of sea air, good for the spirit. So, but when I had my walk, it was good for the soul and the spirit, because you look at nature and you see the beauty, the tranquility, and what I'm after describing. So there you are. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day this Saturday. Hope some of you are off. Some of you, of course, have to work, Gardaí and nurses. A lot of Gardaí was working. They are very busy. I never saw such traffic in all my life. It was great to see it, all this activity. Long it may last, and I hope it brings tourists to the West of Ireland. because they're often being neglected by the powers that be. I know when there was a farmer, local farmer minister living in County Mayo, he brought factories to that area and great roads, and you've the Knock Airport now, which brings in visitors from all over, pilgrims. And we've got great places here in this country for pilgrims. And I hope Joe Biden, that marvellous president that brought a bit of joy to us during the Easter period, I hope plenty of visitors come from the United States as a result. And they'll have a grand time. Get down the country, go over to Mayo for goodness sake, see the beauty there. And the next port of call is the United States. Great light out there. Marvellous scenery, marvellous facilities, so much to see. Mass rocks, holy wells, monasteries, lovely churches like Ballintubber Abbey, where St. Patrick went from there to Croagh Patrick. That's the pilgrim path, about 22 miles or 40 kilometres. We're going to do it in kilometres here now, but I'm used to miles. It was miles in my time. So anyways, we're at been talking about the pastoral scene, the walk. I often digress, and we all do, don't we? Tell our stories. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. God bless you.